what's your name?
I'm RC Means.
And what sport do you play?
Football.
All right. How do you juggle sports and school?
It can be pretty challenging. It's practice ends at 7, plus we stay late sometimes watching film. So I don't usually start homework till at least 9 or 10 o'clock. So sometimes it's late nights and sometimes I just have to wake up early. But it is usually just there's some time after school and then before practice that's beneficial to get done.
All right, and you kind of answered this already, but what are the time commitments for football outside of school as a varsity athlete?
Outside of school, it can be pretty taxing. Wake up early, near 5 a.m. for 6 a.m. weights, Mondays and Wednesdays. Then you have the 2-hour practices, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then the games and Monday, Thursday practice is a little shorter, but it's all just pretty hard to fit anything else in that isn't homework while playing the sport. But it's the sport is the thing you're going out for, and the sport is the thing you love, so it's fine.
All right. And what does it mean to you to represent Acalanes High School as a varsity athlete?
I mean, it means a lot because being, especially on a team sport like football, you're not necessarily representing yourself or Acalanes. Not only Acalanes as a whole as well, but you're also representing the other people on your team. And if you do something stupid or you do something just like mean or disrespectful, that also reflects on the school and on your teammates, which it always feels bad. So it's kind of a big responsibility just to be good around the campus and to try to just be like a good member of the school, because you don't want neither Acalanes nor your teammates you practice so hard with to be, for the reputation to be bad.
Mm-hmm. And for the final question, what's your favorite color?
Definitely blue.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I get your name and what sport you play?
I'm Tyler Holder, and I play varsity soccer.
How do you juggle sports in school?
So you really gotta plan beforehand. You gotta plan when you're gonna do your school, and then you gotta plan some leisure time because you have a life, and then you gotta go to practice, then you gotta plan out dinners, whatever, and do stuff with your family and friends.
Okay, what are the time commitments for you outside of school?
Time commitments, it's a minimum of 2 hours just for sports, like minimum. Sometimes I have double practices, sometimes the practices go longer, film, whatever, so it's roughly 2 to 3 hours.
All right, and what does it mean to you to represent Acalanes as a varsity athlete?
It means you have to be there for every single sport. I always try and go to as many single varsity games for any sport as possible. Just like senior night, I went to the volleyball game, but you just really got to show up for your dons.
And what's your favorite color and why?
It is blue because Acalanes, come on.
Good, thank you so much. Could I get your name real quick?
My name is Lucas Hawes.
And what sport do you play?
I do wrestling.
All right. So my first question is, how do you juggle sports in school?
Well, during the season, my GPA drops considerably, and I actually just focus mainly on wrestling. Yeah.
All right. And what are the time commitments for wrestling outside of school?
About 3 hours every weekday, and then tournaments can be from 9 to 15 hours on Saturdays.
Jeez.
Kind of a yikes.
What does it mean to represent? What does it mean to you to represent Acalanes as a varsity athlete?
Well, wrestling's kind of a joke to a lot of people, so it feels good to see people and be like, I weigh less than that person. And that's really what it means to be an Acalanes varsity wrestler.
That's good. All right. And for the last question, what's your favorite color?
You're like burgundy. I wear a lot of burgundy. You have a burgundy sweater. Burgundy's a great color.
Thank you. Could you say your name and what sport you play for Acalanes?
My name is Franny Daughters, and I'm a senior, and I play water polo.
All right. So for the first question, how do you juggle sports in school?
I juggle sports in school by managing my time really well and using sports as an outlet for stress because it's a nice break from homework, and yeah.
All right, and what are the time commitments for your sport outside of school?
We have practice for 2 hours a day after school, and sometimes we have morning practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, although we don't have Friday practice, which is nice. And about like 1 to 2 times a month we have tournaments, and those are Friday, Saturday. And we have games usually on Wednesdays, but sometimes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And games are a slightly bigger time commitment than practice, depending on where they are.
All right, and what does it mean to you to represent Alkalanis as an athlete?
It means that I play my best and work hard in the pool and try to get the win and represent Alkalanis.
All right, and for the last question, what's your favorite color and why?
Well, obviously blue, but outside of that, probably purple because it's a pretty color, and the school that I want to go to is purple.
All right, thank you. All right, could you say your name and the sport that you represent?
My name is Grant Silveri, and I play men's volleyball.
How do you juggle sports in school?
I work really hard to manage my time well, and I make sure that school comes before volleyball.
All right. What are the time commitments for you for volleyball outside of school?
I'm not playing club volleyball this year, but usually I do because of COVID. So that's a big time commitment because of tournaments on the weekends. But now that I don't have that, it's a lot easier. And with school volleyball, it's going to be 5 practices a week, which is going to be hard with my job, but I'll manage.
And how long are the practices usually?
Hour and a half to 2 hours.
All right. And what does it mean to you to represent Alkalanis as a varsity athlete?
I love representing Alkalanis and having school spirit and hopefully beating Campo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And for the final question, what's your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is yellow because it's on my shoes.
Yeah.